Lori here, I'm back. This is going to be a weekend reading of some spooky reads and some Halloween movies, which I'm really excited about. So, the first book I'm in the middle of reading is Deck of Ohms by Christina Lynn Herman. This is the sequel to The Devouring Grey. I'm about 150 pages into it. Really liking it. It definitely took me a little bit of time to remember like where we were in the world. For those that don't know, this is a series that reminds me a lot of Stranger Things and a lot of Buffy. But they're basically set in this town, and they have to protect the town from the Grey, which is this place and this power that is kind of infiltrating the town. And you follow 5 teenagers. You follow May, Isaac, Violet, Harper, and Justin, who is May's brother. And they're all kind of coming into the head that they need to like be more a little bit proactive in the situation. There's a lot of LGBTQ representation in it. I will warn you, there is a virus in this book. Not as scary as our coronavirus, but there is a virus in this book. So if you're like at all, don't want that at all in your reads, this may not be the best time to pick this book up. I'll be a little bit honest. But it is eerie. It is creepy. I read Forest of Souls last week, and that was, again, eerie and creepy. This does have a contemporary setting, so it's very, very realistic to what we've been dealing with. It's not like a super hard one to follow. So this is the one that I'm in the middle of reading. I really hope to tackle a majority of this today. And then Ghostwood Song is another creepy one that I really do hope to tackle. And Incendiary. This is my weekend TBR. I know I will not finish all of these by tomorrow. It just won't happen. And I am prepared to do a feel-good-a-thon for the week of the election because I think we all need that. I need that, like, mentally. So I'm going to try my hardest to at least read these 2, and then if by some weird coincidence I have a lot of time on my hands and I can push through Incendiary, I might, but I doubt it. So today's actually kind of fun. I'm going to do my last little errands. I have to prep my YouTube videos for the month of November. I have to start thinking about my Bookmas. My Bookmas is always like weird. My Bookmas goes like the week I have off. I have a week and a half off from school and work. So in addition to like prepping for school for the next couple of months, which will be also on my plan, I also do want to film a lot of videos. And I'm just going to post every single day. Normally I post like 2 to 3 times a week. But there are so many bookish wrap-up videos that I want to do, and I do them until like April, and I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I'm really just going to pack through you guys with like 2 to 4 weeks of complete videos, just me wrapping up my year. So I'm really excited for that. I'm also participating in a MuggleCast trivia night tonight. It's at 3 o'clock, and it's gonna be a Halloween themed round. MuggleCast has been doing so many virtual events since COVID began, and I've really looked forward to their events. So this is another one that I'm really excited to participate in. So I'm gonna go figure out my last few errands. I'm actually going to do a book order. Yeah, I know. I've probably spent more money on this book this year than I've spent on books in like the last 9 years because I haven't gone to any conventions and just kind of want them. And this is also my this is like the last time I'm going to buy myself books before Christmas. So it's just kind of like a motivation. If I want it, I'm going to buy myself books now. So I'm going to go do those final little errands, plan my videos for the month and see what I do have to film, see what I don't have to film and all that other fun stuff. And I'll check in with you guys when I'm ready to dive back into Deck of Ohms. Bye guys. Right here. It's about 1:23 and I finally finished all my errands. I made some book purchases. I know, story of my life. But I did get some ones that I was waiting for, so that's good. And I did wind up getting up to page 155 in The Deck of Ohms by Christina Lynn Herman. I really am liking this book. I like that this book has so many different perspectives, and I think that they're all really important because they're all so different. I really love this town. It reminds me of like Stars Hollow or like oh my goodness, the town that Stranger Things is set in. I just really like the character dynamics in this book a lot. So I'm actually going to put on Hocus Pocus because today is Halloween and it's just like a weird year, but I do want to really tackle quite a bit of this. So I'm going to go put on Hocus Pocus, watch a couple of other creepy Disney movies this week, and that's kind of my plan. I'm really not going to listen to any BookTube videos until the week. I think I'm going to need like a distressing break with all the election stuff coming up, but I'm going to watch Hocus Pocus, and I've seen it before, obviously, but I've never owned a copy of it, so thanks to Disney Plus, I'm going to go watch that, and I'll update you guys when I read about 50 more pages and let you guys know my thoughts on Hocus Pocus. Bye guys. Lori here, just an update. I did wind up getting up to page about I think it's 190. Yeah, I got about to 190, and I'm also about to start the section of this book. This book has very, very beautiful illustrations. It's called The Crusader. I really like this book a lot. I love the first one, and I think the one thing that, like, I wish was a little bit clearer is we get a lot of point of views in this book. Like, we get, like, at least 4 to 5 point of views, so sometimes you have to just, like, remember whose point of view you're in. But I'm loving the eerie elements. I said this before in like all my reading blogs this month. I don't like scary books. I do like creepy books. So this is like the perfect type of creepy book that I like. It's like that's why I like Stranger Things. Stranger Things isn't scary. It's more creepy and it's more eerie. Like, I wouldn't watch Bly Manor because that's scary, but creepy stuff I do like. I just like that all the characters are so different. And I said before, in book 1, it really wasn't romance heavy. Like, that was not the point of that book. In this book, you are diving a little bit more into that. But I think all the magical powers are super interesting. We also get these cool illustrations. I think you could see it at the top. But yeah, it's just a fun, captivating read. I'm also watching Hocus Pocus. It's been a while since I've actually seen this movie, but I'm really liking it. It has Thora Birch in it, and it has the Sanderson sisters in it. I'm watching that. I definitely want to watch Halloween Town tonight as well. Those are my 2 movies I watch every single Halloween season. And there's quite a few on Disney Plus that I haven't seen ever, so I may give those a go tomorrow. But I'm going to read a little bit more before my Halloween trivia contest starts with MuggleCast, and I will check in with you guys when that contest is over and let you guys know if by chance I if I won, or any more reading that I have got done. I hope by the time next time you see me, I will have read about 50 more pages. We will see. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Just checking back in, I did actually wind up playing my MuggleCast trivia game. It is so much fun, and I feel like we have like a little bit of a community. I've been following MuggleCast since I was like 11 years old. When the books first came, when book 7 came out, maybe I was like 15 or 16, but I've been following that podcast for so long. I feel like those podcast hosts, Eric, Laura, Micah, and Andrew, are all my friends. I feel like that. I listen to all their podcasts, and since quarantine has begun, it has become such a lifeline for me. We have like a group meetup like every single month, and we all know each other. We talk. It's just great. I think fandom and community has always been such a big part of my life. And say what you want about, social media and technology and stuff like that, but sometimes it really helps you give a community. So I am still watching Hocus Pocus. I have about 30 minutes left of that. I am on page 190 of the Deck of Ohms, which I'm still reading. So I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll update you guys when I'm done with the movie, and also when I read about 15 more pages, because I still don't read all that much. But I will update you guys when I'm catch a little bit more. But I'm really also liking this book. I think it's really focusing on some different things. You're diving into all the characters, and you're really focusing on them kind of becoming in their own. It has a lot of LGBTQ representation, which is something that I've been looking for in my reads recently a lot more than I normally do in the past. So I'm going to head out back to read and watching Hocus Pocus, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hey, it's Laura here. I'm back. I just want to say that I did end up getting up to page 205 in the Deck of Ohms. I'm really enjoying it. The one trope I like in fantasy or contemporary reads that have like a bit of a supernatural twist, so I love when teens and adults work together, because I think it just makes the story a lot more believable, and they're definitely playing more into that in this book, especially with Violet's mom, which I'm really liking. It's such a fun read. Very, very captivating, very, very fast paced. I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna tackle the end of Hocus Pocus, and then I'll kind of give you guys my thoughts on Hocus Pocus, and I'll kind of do that with every movie that I watch this weekend. So I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna watch Hocus Pocus, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts on the end of Hocus Pocus. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hey, it's Laura here. I'm back. It's about 4:50. So I did wind up getting up to page 205 in Deck of Ohms. I also did wind up finishing Hocus Pocus. I really do like this movie. It has one of my favorite actors in it, childhood actress Thora Birch. I love her as an actress. I just think that this movie is like the perfect childhood movie. It's like has like a little bit creepy, a little bit scary, but really, really fun. It focuses on sibling relationships. And I just liked how there was a group of characters working together. It reminds me of the trio effect in YA novels that I love, like when there's 3 characters or middle grade that are always working together. You see that in that novel a lot. And yeah, it was just super fun. So I'm going to watch one of my true crime videos, and then I'm going to watch Halloween Town, the trilogy tonight, which is one of my favorite things to do during Halloween. And now they're all on Disney Plus, so I can watch them, which is awesome. So I'm going to go watch my true crime video. And after my true crime video, I'll update you guys on where I am with Deck of Ohms. But it's getting very, very interesting and very, very good and very, very eerie, which is exactly what I want today. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I did want to finish watching my true crime video, which was about When a Stranger Calls, which I've never actually seen. I've said this before. I'm not the biggest fan of pure horror movies. They freak me out. But I do like Disney Channel movies and like fun witchy stories. So I'm going to watch the Halloween Town trilogy tonight. That is my plan. I've seen those movies a bunch of times, but I always had to like catch them very precarious time through Disney Channel. But now they're all on Disney Plus, so I can watch them whenever I want. So this is great. But I did actually wind up getting up to page 215 in Deck of Ohms. The one thing I like about this story is it's like a legacy story. You can see this through a bunch of different generations of how the gray has transformed them and used them in different ways. And also the kids in the stories are so different. Their powers are so different. You have a kid that you think would have powers but doesn't have powers, and it's a great story. I also think the LGBTQ rep is really interesting in the story, and it deals with some stuff that, like, I've never really seen. Well, I've seen it once. I've seen it once in, like, another series. I don't want to give away what it is, but, like, it's just not very talked about. So I thought that was really interesting. I like that there's a lot of female characters in this book, and they're working together. The first book had a lot of girl drama, but this book has girl drama, but they're also working together. And I think that is such a strong lesson for young girls to see that girls can work together and not always be competing, which I think is a great lesson. So I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll update you guys when I read about to page 250. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Lori here. It's 6:15. I just wound up taking a shower. I finished watching Hocus Pocus and my 2 true crime videos that I was in the middle of watching. Now I'm going to dive into Halloween Town. But before that, I want to give you a small update. I am on page 226 of the Deck of Ohms. It definitely took a twist I was sort of expecting, but still kind of surprised by. I'll say that. As I said before, this book does have to do with legacies and many different generations. So the twist is not shocking, but I'm curious how the characters deal with it. I want to get away because that's too spoilery. Maybe I'll do a spoiler section at the end of this reading vlog, because if this is only going to be a duology, maybe I'll do that. But still really enjoying it. It's the perfect atmospheric reading for Halloween. Now I'm going to go watch some Halloween Town, which is definitely one of my favorite Disney movies. And I'll check back in when I read to page 250 about there. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here, just checking back in. It's about 7:48. I also am still watching Halloween Town. I'm about halfway through it. Still really, really like that movie. It's like the perfect Halloween movie, and I'm going to watch them all weekend. But I also can get up to page 256 in Deck of Ohms. It reminds me sort of like the tail end of a TV show when all the small pieces are coming together. All the characters are competing. They have a plan. I love when there's a plan. It makes me feel like the characters are organized. And I just love the dynamics of these characters a lot. It really reminds me a lot of Buffy, like the character dynamics in Buffy, but also a lot of Stranger Things, like the thing that they're dealing with is a little bit more Stranger Things than Buffy, but I'm really, really enjoying it. The virus element is not as quite as pronounced in this book as I was expecting it to be at the start, but there is a virus element, so again, just tread carefully. And I think I'll definitely talk spoilers at the end for you guys of this reading vlog, or when I'm done with this book. So I'm going to go back to reading. Also, NaNoWriMo starts tomorrow. I'm not participating in NaNoWriMo, but I love following people because they have a lot of write-ins, and I tend to read as they're writing in. So they have a write-in that starts at midnight, and I might stay up and just kind of read through my book. We'll see how many pages I have left, but I am really excited, and I'm going to keep reading. So I'll report back when I read up to about page 300, and we'll see my thoughts on Halloween Town and also on my book. Bye. Sorry here, it's almost 9 o'clock. I did actually finish watching Halloween Town, which is always a fun movie. I also, which is really, really fun, I really, really like that movie. I think it's great. I actually forgot the end of that movie, so I'm going to actually try to watch the next one and see how far I get. I don't know if I'm going to say I've watched the whole thing, but I am going to try. I'm also on page 296. I'm right at the tail end of this story. I'm right at the climax. Definitely took an interesting twist that I wasn't necessarily expecting, But I really just like the characters in this book so much. The characters are so fun. It is very creepy, very eerie, a little bit more gory than I would like, but not blood gory, just like weird gory, if that makes any sense. If you read the book, I'll talk like a little bit more spoilers at the end. But I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to go start Halloween Town 2, and I'll talk to you guys when I read a little bit more pages. I'm probably going to try to read up to like 350, and 350, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. I don't even know when this book is over. This book is over at like 370, so I'll check in with you guys in a little bit and let you guys my thoughts on Halloween Town 2. It's been a while since I've seen Halloween Town 2. The one I used to watch the most was Halloween Town High. I really like that one. So I'm going to go watch Halloween Town 2, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye. Last night I did end up finishing watching Halloween Town 2, which I still really enjoyed. There's 2 more I have to watch. I am unsure if I saw the last one because it didn't have Kimberly J. Brown in it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. First I'm going to go to yoga. I'm going to come back. I'm going to tackle Deck of Ohms. I have about 100 pages left. And I think I'm just going to kind of watch movies all day today. That's going to kind of be my plan. I'm going to craft for one of them. I'm going to craft. I have to finish the calendar. I'm in the middle of working on for Christmas crafting. So I think I'm going to do one of those while I'm watching Halloween Town High, which is definitely the movie that I remember the best. And then I think I'm going to also watch Halloween Town Returns, I think, which stars a different actress, but still I'm unsure if I've seen it. I really am liking Deck of Ohms. I'm in the last, 100 pages of it. Really, really fun. I'll say this before. There is a lot of different point of views in this book, so sometimes you just have to kind of remember whose point of view you're in, because it's not made super clear. Like, there's not like, oh, you're in Justin's point of view, or you're in May's point of view, or you're in Isaac's, or you're in Violet. So, sometimes the point of view stuff is really, a little bit confusing. But other than that, really, really enjoying it. So I'm going to go do my Skillshare class, which I didn't do yesterday because I went to go vote, and that took my morning, which is fine. Voting is very, very important. But I'm going to go watch one of my episodes of my Skillshare class, and then I am going to get ready to go to yoga. So I'll check in when I come back. I'm going to go to yoga. I'm going to go get some lunch, come back, do some Christmas crafting, and I'll check in with you guys when I'm about to start my Christmas crafting and let you guys know how my audiobook listening went. I'm listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I'm also reading Deck of Ohms. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Lori here. I just got back from yoga. I'm on page 350. In the Deck of Ohms. It's getting really, really good. I love ending of stories normally. This one is checking all my boxes. So I'm going to go tackle the rest of this, and then I'll come in and then I'll give you guys my wrap up because I'm so close to the end and I want to share my thoughts with you guys. So I'm going to go finish this and I will come back when I'm done, and then we will talk about the rest of the day. It's almost 12 o'clock. So I will check back with you guys. Bye. Here I'm back. So I did wind up finishing Deck of Ohms by Christina Lynn Herman. I wound up really liking this book. I think I really liked this duology altogether. I thought it ended in a way that you don't normally see contemporary paranormal duologies end, and I found it to be very reminiscent of Buffy. That series, very reminiscent of the ending, and I am going to talk spoilers at the very, very end because it is the end of a duology, and I would like to give you my thoughts. But because I am kind of on a creepy, well, not a creepy, but a creepy for me movie kick, I'm going to spend an hour and I'm going to watch Halloween Town High, which is my favorite one. And then after that, I'm going to pick, after I finish my 2 hours, which is what I'm going to start doing with all my Christmas crafting, because Christmas crafting is fast approaching. And with deadlines and stuff and sending stuff out to people, I have to have my stuff done a little bit earlier. So I'm going to kind of take 2 hours every weekend and just kind of craft and just watch a movie on Disney Plus because there's so many movies I haven't seen. So, and then I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start Born at Midnight by C.C. Hunter. I got this a couple years ago from my friend Justin. He got it for me and I just never got around to reading it. I do definitely want to do a feel-good-a-thon next week with the election fast approaching. But this is, oh my god, I've got all these bookmarks here. This book is, how many pages is this book? This book is it's almost 400 pages. So I doubt I'll finish this today, but it also is a very, very quick read. So I'll see how far I can get. But I'm going to go do some Christmas crafting, and I'm going to come back, and after I do some Christmas crafting, I'll give you guys my thoughts on Halloween Town High, and then I'll go start Born at Midnight. So, talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. I did actually wind up taking a little bit of a break. I did wind up finishing my calendar. I finished watching Halloween Town High, which is definitely my favorite of those movies by far. And now I'm going to go watch Halloween Town, Return to Halloween Town, which either I've never seen or I just don't remember because it doesn't star the lead actress in that movie. It stars like another actress. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch that. And I'm also going to start Born at Midnight, which is my creepy read that I hope to start. I did also just, in my previous clips, I finished Deck of Ohms. But I'm also going to talk about it at the end of this reading vlog. So I'm going to go start Born at Midnight and start Return to Halloween Town. And hopefully, once I read about 50 pages, I'll be able to give you an update. The only thing I know about this is it's about a camp in Shadows Falls where vampires, wolves, shapeshifters, witches, and fairies train side by side, learning to harness their powers, control their magic, and live in a normal world. And I think you follow a girl named Kaylee, and I think she learns she's a supernatural creature, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to go start this, and I'll update you guys when I read a little bit more. I've never read anything by CC Hunter before, but I'm really excited to dive in. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Lori here, just checking back in. It's about 4 o'clock. I think I'm going to play a little bit of Animal Crossing. But I wound up getting up to page 30 in Born at Midnight by CC Hunter. It's definitely more of like an older YA paranormal. Kind of reminds me a little bit of just like the writing style, I would say, kind of not even Mortal Instrument, but like what I would imagine Teeth would be by Holly Black, which I heard was very like, the language is just awkward. They say a lot of like, you know, it's just like not very like, it's not like I like to hear. Like they call each other bitches and stuff like that, and there's a lot of talks about sluts and stuff like that. There's already a pregnancy scare for one of the characters, and we're only like 35 pages in. I know it does get a little bit more supernatural, like as the back is telling me, but basically there's this girl named Kylie, and she gets sent to this camp for troubled teenagers. And I guess she winds up she is a supernatural creature. We don't know what she is yet. But yeah, it seems interesting. Like you kind of go in knowing that there's a little bit more supernatural stuff to think. I'll be curious how I feel about it once I read a little bit more and we get like into the heart of the story. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of an Animal Crossing because I really haven't been playing all that much. I'll be honest. It's been a little crazy and chaotic. But I do really want to go play. So I'm going to play for a little bit, and then I'll come back, and maybe I'll read up to page, like, 50. I am still watching Halloween Town, which is just a fun movie. I do recall seeing it, but it's probably been a while since I've actually seen it. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a reading break, and then I'm going to go play a little bit of Animal Crossing, and then when I stop playing Animal Crossing, I'll kind of come in and check in with you guys. Bye. I'm actually back. I did decide to put down Born at Midnight. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know. I'm not normally a really, really big supernatural, like, paranormal girl because I've been burned so many times by books like that. The only real series, sorry, you can hear my Animal Crossing stuff in the background. The only real series, like, supernatural paranormal series that I really, really love or enjoy a lot is the Shadowhunter series. I think Cassie Clare does it super well. And I was burned so badly by Twilight. I also really like, the Vampire Academy series. That was another one that I really enjoyed. But those book series, especially one that are written a long time ago, I sometimes struggle with the language that they're written in. They can come across to me as, like, very, like, they're just not, like, they're not very kind to women. They kind of talk about women in bad ways and, very, very Twilight-y. And I just struggle with them. I am going to probably give it a chance later. I do still want to read it. But I just, at the moment, I wasn't in the mood to continue reading it. So I'm going to kind of think what I want to do for the rest of the evening. If I want to kind of pick up something else that's a little bit creepy. I don't know. So I'm kind of deciding what that's going to be. So I'm going to think about that. I'm going to finish playing Animal Crossing, probably take a shower, and then I'll probably kind of like come in and I'll kind of like revamp what I'm going to do. So yeah, so that's kind of my thought. I have been DNFing books or stopping reading books a little bit more this year, and I just kind of, this was within like 30 pages, so I kind of knew I didn't want to keep reading, but I've been DNFing books like particularly in the depths of my reading lately, but alright, so I'm going to play a little bit more of Animal Crossing, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. It's Lori here, I'm back. So it's about 5:42. I know what I'm going to read for the rest of this week. Like, I have my TBR picked out. And because November, I am going to read a bunch of high fantasy novels that I've never really read before. I think I'm going to read a little bit of Mistborn. Now, originally on my November TBR was Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. And my friend, I just had a long talk with her, and she told me she thinks I should read Mistborn first. So I bought Mistborn on my Kindle. I do have an ebook. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend like the rest of this evening kind of reading Mistborn and kind of getting myself reacquainted with it. And then I will kind of just finish this reading vlog out and I'll kind of post it. And then my Monday through Sunday reading vlog, I guess, will be my feel good-a-thon, where I kind of read books that kind of just put a smile on my face. And it's election week, so that's kind of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go film the start of that reading vlog, kind of get myself all organized to go to work, and then when I come back, I'll have let you know what I think about Mistborn so far. So I've read Brandon Sanderson's young adult series. I've read his not Mistborn. I read Steelheart, and I liked it. And I actually have quite a few Brandon Sanderson books on my TBR, both middle grade and adult. So I think I'm going to start with Mistborn, see how I feel. And then that will probably be the first adult book I pick up this month, and I'll just kind of keep reading. So I'm going to go film the start of my other reading vlog that I'm going to start tomorrow, and I will come back when I have read a little bit of Mistborn. Bye, guys. Right here, I just wound up finishing The Return to Halloween Town, which stars Sarah Paxton and Lucas Gabriel, which was actually really interesting. I think I must have seen it at some point, so I'm just trying to find another creepy movie to watch. I'm gonna go hunt. I also am reading Mistborn. I'm about 2% in, so I don't really feel confident telling you anything about it. All I know is that there is a mist that is keeping people inside their houses right now. There's a war effort. There's some Saka, which is slaves. There's Khaleesi, who's the main character. I am a disaster at names in high fantasy novels. I'm just probably going to call him Key, unless they give me another nickname that I can call him. But yeah, so I'm going to pick another, like, witchy movie to watch, and then I'll report back. I definitely want to watch The Mandalorian tonight, and I definitely want to watch another episode of Sabrina, so that's probably going to be my plans once I stop reading for the evening, but I do want to read a little bit more and watch one more movie, so off to when I find that, when I decide what I want to watch, I'll let you guys know. Bye. Here, it's about 7:34. I did wind up reading about 2 to 3 chapters in Mistborn. It's a very complicated world. Like, I've only met 2 characters so far. We had a prologue, and then we had 2 chapters, and they both followed 2 very different characters. One name was Kessler, who wound up going to this small town, and he really is determined to kind of bring about like a revolution. And there's a mist in the town. I really don't know why it's called Mistborn yet. And then we followed another girl her power is luck, and she can kind of shove people in her direction. She can kind of she has luck to kind of convince people to do what she wants. So I'm going to probably finish reading that book like later in the month, but I read about, 50 pages of that, which is actually pretty good. So I'm going to wrap up this reading vlog tomorrow when I come home. And I'll just wrap up everything that I wound up reading during this mini weekend, which was only, Deck of Ohms and a little bit of Mistborn. So when I come home tomorrow, I'm going to talk a little bit more through Deck of Ohms, and then I'll wrap up this reading vlog. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Here, it's actually quite a few days later, but I want to wrap up this reading vlog for the weekend, my Halloween spookathon, readathon. But I did wind up finishing Deck of Ohms by Christina Lynn Herman. This was my read that I picked up. It is the sequel and the concluding novel to the Devouring Grey. I really wound up liking this book. I wound up giving it 4 stars for review. It was just such a fun read. I really like how all the characters got their moment. There was definitely some twisty, turny elements that I didn't necessarily expect. I'll kind of go through that in a couple of minutes. But I really liked all the characters. I still like that the romance was definitely not the focus of this novel. I think it was very, very backseat plot. But I love that we got so many different characters. I thought that was incredibly important. And it was just a really, really eerie, creepy read. Very much like Forest of Souls that I read recently. This book was another one that really captured me, and I really thought the world building was really, really impressive and super captivating. So that was super fun. Some spoilers I'll talk about now. I'm going to be spoiling you, so if you don't want to be spoiled on Deck of Ohms, then I'll talk to you guys for my next reading vlog. I did like that they had the villain turned out to be someone I wasn't necessarily expecting. I like that it was May's elusive dad. I thought that was really interesting. there was also a lot of like, the facts about what the Grey really was and what the Beast really was. I like that twist that they really had created this monster. I also liked, the development of all their powers. And again, the romance was really a backseat. I liked all the romances that we got. I liked Violet and Justin. No, 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 sorry. Violet and Isaac. I liked Justin and Harper. May was kind of by herself, but I thought the powers were really unique. So I would wind up giving this book 4 stars for review, and I'll definitely check out more by Christina Lynn Herman in the future. And yeah, thanks for sticking with me. I did watch a bunch of Halloween movies. I watched Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, all 4 of them, which was super fun. That was kind of my watching. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys for my next reading vlog. Bye.